from the Washington, D.C. area. Ooh. 50 over match, and of course, in a 50 over match, the first 10 overs represent the power play overs. And sometimes we've been asked the question, what is a power play? We'll get into that after this delivery. Lifted, just help behind square on the leg side. So first run off the bat for Nepal. Help down to the fine leg area for just a single. So the power play, inside that first 10 overs, the first 60 deliveries of the innings, you're allowed only 2 fielders outside the 30-yard circle. There's a 30-yard circle effectively that runs around the center pitch. And outside of that 30-yard circle, only 2 fielders are allowed. And it's defended right in front by the Nepali batter. That's Canal. So the 2 fielders outside the line, outside the 30-yard circle are at fine leg and third man. Not dissimilar to what you'd expect for the type of field that's being set and the type of bowling that's taking place. Adil Bhatti bowling a typical pace bowler's length, good hard length, and for the most part, a good first over here by Bhatti. The second over is complete, and after 2, the score is 2 for 1. So 2 for 1 the score after 2 overs. A little bit of a interruption in play here as it appears that one of the Nepali batters is struggling. Trainer is on, and in fact it appears that he's walking off. So not exactly sure what happened. Certainly in some distress, and he appears to have removed his pads. So if something happened, no, well, one pad is on, one is off. Yeah, left pad is off, and then we're hearing that one of the batters is retiring, needs to have some treatment. Apparently an issue with his left leg. Of course, had this been an official match, I don't know if it's severe enough to have taken him out, but with a warm-up match underway, you don't want to necessarily take the chance to have that injury be worse. So I think the right decision being made here by the Nepali team to take that batter who's struggling off. So one batter is retired. I don't know yet if that will be retired out or if he'll be eligible to return later on. I guess that's a question for either umpire Kane or umpire Samuels. But new batter is in, and we're about to continue again. It is Mohamed Ilyas, who's bowled 1 over so far. Taken 1 wicket with the first ball of that over, and is now settling in for his second over. Ooh, lift. Tentative forward prod there by the batter. Batter is Sheikh, I believe. Ilyas bowling relatively quickly. There's a good hard length being found by both of these opening bowlers. Just from the eye test, it seems like Ilias is a little bit quicker than Adil Bhatti, the bowler from the forest end. But both bowlers for the Nepali All-Stars are starting out in good stead here. What a great delivery that one is. On a fourth stump line, lifting, and another tentative prod by Sheik, not able to make contact. And again, the ball flying through, sailing through to the keeper. So a couple of good deliveries to start. And Mohamed Ilyas delivering exactly the way that he wants to so far in this innings. Here's Ilyas again. This time it's left alone outside off stump. Umpire Brian Kane with the raised arms. Another wide. So 3 runs have been scored so far. In the Prairie View, it appears that according to the forecast, there may be a little bit of rain later. Think nothing that will be bad enough to upset the run of play here. Another delivery outside the line of off stump, carrying through to the keeper. So 3 balls gone, another 3 to come, of course. It's always interesting to see the communication between the umpires. Of course, when you're umpiring, you're being tested on every single delivery, so it's always a good sign to see that they're mentally in the game, communicating with each other and being able to signal how many balls are left after each delivery, which is also and always a very important part of the run of play. Ilias again. Defended to mid-wicket. Quick run taken and a quick throw by that fielder running in from mid-wicket. But a good piece of cricket because Nepal on that occasion, immediately both batters realized that there was a run there and they both took off. One called, the other responded and immediately ran through for that single. So I think even had that hit, that was a good accurate throw from the mid-wicket area. But even had that hit, I think he would have been safe. So another run to the total, 3 for 1 the score. 2 balls remaining here in the third over, the second being bowled by Ilias. No run in this occasion as that fielder said mid-wicket earlier. He's more sort of a forward square leg position, not too far away from umpire Samuel's square leg. Ball is defended in that general direction and no run. All-Stars having won the toss and deciding to bowl, getting the type of start that you'd like, and this one is dug in short, a good, sharp, short delivery by Ilias. First delivery that you see bowled in anger for the day. In fact, it sort of brings the batter off of his feet, which is never a comfortable sign if you're batting. Good sharp bounce to end the over, and at the end of 3, the score is 4 for 1. 4 for 1, Adil Bhatti to continue from the forest end. He will be bowling to Canal. Canal thus far has not scored, no runs scored from 9 balls faced. And Powdell is the batter who is at the non-strikers end. He is 1 from 4. First delivery, clipped through the vacant area in mid-wicket. That will give them enough time to run for 2. Diving attempt by that fielder at short mid-wicket, not able to get a hand to it, so 2 more runs. And I have to say, after a very aggressive start by the batters for that you'd expect Caudill and Canal, asking the bowler to come to them. If it's outside off stump, they're willing to leave it alone. At least they've done that for the last few occasions. And if it's straight enough, then they punch it into the onside for a quick single, like they do here. Quick throw to the non-striker's end. Good backup, excellent backup on that occasion. That throw, had that evaded that fielder backing up at short cover, that very easily could have gone down to third man for additional runs. As it turns out, good quick single taken on that occasion. And again, that backup means that there are no additional runs conceded. Score now ticks on to 6. Oh, that's a lovely looking shot. Just standing tall and punching it down to the boundary at cover. I think that might be 4. A diving attempt, and he made a good effort to get to that delivery or to get to that ball on the boundary, but I think either he or the ball may have touched the boundary. No signal given as of this point by the umpires, and maybe we're just going to say that that's 2. Heath Richards is the fielder who has been in amongst the action for the last couple of deliveries. He's the one who had that wonderful backup a few minutes ago, or a few deliveries ago, and then he's the one who chased that ball down. Apparently that has been given just as 2 runs. So good on him. He's saved 2 runs for his team. Don't ever know what difference that's going to make with 95 more overs to go, but we'll see how important that ends up being. Adil Bhatti now conceded 4 runs thus far from his 1 over and 4 balls. 7 for 1 the score. Canal still has not opened his account, none from 9. Caudill 4 from 7. We're halfway at that of the third of the innings rather. But so far has generally kept the ball on a 4th stump line. Good lifting, sort of hard lengths to play away. And I'm hearing myself in stereo here. Wow. So the Nepali All-Stars, I have it on good authority that there are 6,000 people watching this match. So it's absolutely fantastic to have all of you here with us. Of course, we're in Prairie View, Texas, half a world away from where you or most of you are in Nepal, but it's a pleasure to have you on with us. 10 for 1 is the score here in the first innings. We're, of course, a 50-over match is what's on the offer. Oh, no ball signal here by umpire Brian Kane. It appears as though that might have been an overstep, and umpire Brian Kane now signaling a free hit. So I'll tell you what, about the first piece of aggression or first piece of excitement that we're about to see, because Mohamed Elias has overstepped, and now a free hit will be coming to Mr. Canal, who struggled to get the ball off the square so far, but this presents a golden opportunity for him to open the shoulders up and put some runs on the board for his team. Here we go. slower delivery and hammered straight to mid-off. That's a good piece of fielding. He sort of sacrifices his right ankle, it appears. He definitely saved 4 runs, but in that process, he may have done himself some damage. It appears that that ball banged off of his right ankle, but in the context of what it means for the team, 4 runs were definitely saved. If there were maybe a yard or two to either side, that certainly would have run away across his quick outfield. Fielding here by the fielder mid-off, who's still tapping his right ankle. Flash outside off stump. Here we go again. In fact, the rehearsed shot is always better than the actual shot that was played. Canal, after having missed that flash, sort of angrily rehearses a well-left shot again. In fact, the rehearsed shot is always better than the actual shot that was played. Canal, after having missed that flash, sort of angrily rehearses a well-left shot, and I think he would have preferred that that's what he would have gone with, as opposed to potentially putting his wicket at risk, flashing outside off stump. Again, we've seen that happen a few times already so far. It's already resulted in 1 wicket. Canal, I think, looking to make sure that he does not add to that tally. 11 for 1 is the score. And another good delivery. This time it's helped down behind square on the leg side. Bat is jogged through for a single, so the score moves on to 12. And in the context of what you're looking to accomplish as a batting side in a warm-up game, you certainly want to make sure that your top batters get as much time in the middle as possible. And so from that standpoint, both of these, Canal and Powdles, appear to be settling down. And again, they've eschewed the sort of aggressive play that cost them a wicket. Now this ball is there to be hit, and it is hit well. I think that's going to run away for 4. Very short, very wide. Any batter anywhere in the world would want to see that type of delivery to release the pressure. Cut away over the top of cover, no real risk in that shot. Helps himself to 4 runs, does Powdle. And at the end of 5, the score is 16 for 1. Back here in Prairie View, the start of the 6th over. Again, we're scheduled for 50. Assuming no interruptions because of rain and no delays, I think the stage is set for 100 overs of cricket today. Adil Bhatti continuing from the forest end into his 3rd over. Good delivery again, just on that off-stump line, drawing by the 3rd man relatively fine. You generally see the 3rd man outside the line of anyone in the slip cordon. Would be, but the 3rd man is in that position that almost appears that you'd want to be expecting an edge to be going between the first slip and the gully fielder for it to get to 3rd man. It's an interesting field, and perhaps could do some asking around to find out what that field is, what the thinking is there. But either way, 2 balls already have been bowled in this over. 16 for 1 is the score as Adil Bhatti is continuing. Oh, quick Single taken off there. Underhand throw at mid on. Missing the stumps at the bowler's end. And they eventually good. Then it generally is a good way of putting the fielding side back on its heels. So another quick single, so 17 for 1 is now the score. Good full delivery. Again taken off for a quick single and another throw underhand. It appears that they're picking on that fielder at mid-on and he's pounding the pavement or the outfield in frustration because 2 consecutive deliveries have been hit right to him. He's underhanded at the non-strikers end, not able to get either one out. And 2 more runs to the total. So those quick singles along that vein. And this one is defended rather in the backward point area. So no risk and certainly no run taken. So that constitutes the end of the 6th over. After 6, the score is 18 for 1. Eighteen for 1, Mohamed Elias to continue, going into his 4th over. So far, Elias has taken the 1 wicket to fall. Very full and defended into that mid-wicket area. Of the opportunity to pick up those singles, even though we are still in the power play overs. This is the 7th over in progress, so another 3 overs and 5 balls after this. But there still appears to be room to pick up those quick singles, and Nepal is starting to do that. Oh, it's a lovely looking shot through the covers. I don't think it will have the legs to get to the boundary. They run through 2 and come back for the 3rd. The throw comes into the keeper's end. Good, quick running among or between the 2 batters on that occasion by Nepal. So 3 more runs to the total. It appears, as I said, that they're making more of an effort to make out of this sort of a match what you'd want to make out of it. In other words, you want to make sure that your batters see enough deliveries. You want to make sure that they continue to get acclimated to the surroundings. And most of all, put some runs on the board that will build confidence going again into the matches that count down at Musa Stadium in Pearland. Score now to 22 for 1. Elias to continue. It's defended, back to the bowler for no run. I mentioned that we're still in the power play overs, so after 10, that constitutes the end of the first power play. After the end of the first power play, you can then have as many, as a fielding side, you can have as many as 4 fielders outside of the circle, outside of the 30-yard circle. That is the case from overs 11 through 40. At the end of the 40th over, that constitutes the 3rd power play, or I should say that starts the 3rd power play. Fielders outside of that 30-yard circle. Doesn't mean that you have to have all 5 out there. It just means that the option is there for you to have as many as five. You cannot have more than five, but that's generally, not generally, that is the way that the power play system is designed to work. So most matches that you watch, there will be, or generally is, a lot of scoring up front in that first power play with the restrictive field. Yet been the case so far. Look at this, another short ball. Really, it's a moral victory for Ilias because that was genuinely a top edge, almost flew directly over the keeper's head, which is a testament to, number one, how much quicker the ball got onto the batter than he was expecting. But it does run away for 4 runs. So 4 runs to the total. Again, maybe a moral victory for Ilias because he did bend the back and surprise the batter with that delivery, I think. But still another 4 runs nonetheless. Good full delivery and quick throw, another quick single taken. Fielder at backward point diving, didn't field it cleanly, and that allowed the two batters to run through for a single. So that is the end of the 7th over. Score is 27 for 1. 27 for 1 the score. Rate at which they're scoring is 3.86. So the run rate ticking up just a little bit with all the quick singles that are being taken. And that's certainly the best way, if you're in Nepal, of being able to sort of get into the flow and get things going in the direction that you want them to be. Once again, this is a warm-up match. These don't necessarily count in the standings, but what you want to do as a side, particularly a side that is traveling halfway around the world, part of the process of getting acclimated to the conditions and making sure that you have the ability to continue the objective of getting good overs under your belt as a batting side. And then, of course, if you win, that's wonderful. But as a batting side at this stage, I think you're more concerned with just getting a good score on the board. So the first bowling change of the day, it appears to be Harmeet Singh. Left arm around the wicket. Will be bowling to Paudel. Paudel, 15 from 16. Kanal at the other end, 8 from 22. Good delivery, good full delivery. That left arm angle around the wicket. He's an orthodox spinner, so if there's any turn, he will be taking it away from the right-hander. And has to confirm that there's a fielder at slip for that delivery that just bites and turns a little bit more than Paudel is expecting. Good 2 deliveries to start out here with, here by Harmeet Singh. Bang on target, drawing the batter forward. Again, that's what you want to be doing as a spinner. And again, drawing it forward. This time he defends it. First run. Now bowling to Paudel. Defended very capably right back to the bowler for no run. Paudel been there for a while. He's now 15 from 16 balls faced. Kanal 8 from 22. Oh, thick outside edge. That's the one the slip fielder would have been interested in. Running down the hill. They'll get 2. But this is exactly what you want as a left arm spinner, to see that ball kissing the outside edge. That will definitely keep the slip fielder interested. Kind of a bold move here by
What
the
kind of
captain to
tree
bring
is
the
this?
spinner on during the power play, but Harmeet Singh appears to have the line and length that will control, or that will impact the scoring rate of these two right-handed batters. That's the end of the over. 3 runs from that over. Good over. Under normal conditions, the spinner giving up 3 runs in an over is a good thing, but particularly during the power play, you'll take that as a captain all day. So the last delivery went for a dot ball, and at the end of 8, end of 7 rather, scores 27 for 1. 27 for 1. We have a new bowler operating now from the highway end. We'll get the information for this bowler in a minute. With the naked eye, it appears as though it's Adil Bati. I want to confirm that. Still 27 for 1. We'll get the name of the new batter, new bowler out of here shortly. Good delivery again. There's that line just on the 4th stump line, and a good lift from this delivery. Tentative poke on that occasion by Powdle, but not able to get any bat to it. 27 for 1. Third delivery of the 8th over. This one is left alone outside off stump.
और वाले मेरे लाइव स्ट्रीम कर रहा है और वाले मेरी वीडियो लाइव स्ट्रीम कर रहा है वीडियो
Apologies for those of you who are watching and listening. We appear to be having just a little bit of trouble with the scoreboard in addition to the identification of the players. We'll get that straightened out in a minute. Here, the 4th delivery of this over. Big flash outside off stump. Brian Kane raising the arms, saying that one is just a little too wide for my liking. So still 3 legal deliveries to be bowled here in what I believe is the 9th over. So we may be a little bit off with the graphics, and we're looking to get all of that fixed. The big edge, and it's given. Umpire Brian Kane raises the finger, and the batter, unfortunately for him, is going to have to walk off. Again, that lifting delivery. Big, thick edge flying right through to the keeper, and he makes no mistake. So looking at the replay here, right in that channel, just kissing the outside edge. That's the line that's been bowled all day by the Nepali All-Stars, and it succeeded in the first ball of the innings in taking a wicket, and that same line allows them to take another wicket. Now the second wicket falls. The score, we believe, is 27 for 2. We will get that confirmed as soon as possible. But just looking at the replay, boy, slanting in to the right-hander. and then just maybe holding the line just a touch and going through to the safe hands of the Nepali All-Stars keeper. So the second wicket goes down. And of course, the graphics on your screen have now been removed because, as I mentioned, there might have been an issue or two with those graphics, but we'll get caught up in a second. Just big picture, the second wicket goes down, and the Nepali All-Stars have made another body blow. So after two, I mentioned earlier that it might have been Adil Bhatti who switched around and was bowling from the highway end, and that in fact has been confirmed. That is Adil Bhatti bowling, and he has taken that second wicket. So the score is now 31 for 2. Good lifting delivery again, Adil Bhatti. It's always the case that after a bowler takes a wicket, he has that energy, he has that adrenaline flowing, and that next delivery is good and quick and pacey. 31 for 2. We're now into the ninth over. 2 deliveries remaining here in the ninth. And again, with only 1 over and 2 balls remaining in the first power play, you'd have to say, boy, wrapped on the pad. Umpire Brian Kane shakes his head no, and I believe that is the end of the first or the ninth over. So good, eventful over. If you are the Nepali All-Stars, you're happy for what has happened. 31 for 2 after 9. Adil Bhatti, 4 overs bowled, 1 for 10. The bowler from the other end, Mohamed Ilyas, or at least from this same end, but the other opening bowler, Mohamed Ilyas, also starting out well. And then, of course, Harmeet Singh, the left-arm spinner, who has taken things under control with a good economical over. And so now here we go. The last over of the power play will be bowled by Harmeet Singh. The score is 31 for 2. Harmeet Singh will be bowling to Damal. Left arm around, good tossed up delivery. Defended to backward point for no run. So again, this is the last over of the power play. After this over is finished, then the field can be a little bit more defensive. You can have up to 4 fielders outside the line outside of the 30-yard circle, I'm sorry. Harmeet Singh with that good control, both deliveries just on the perfect line and the perfect length. That slip fielder will be interested in how he's bowling, and again a third delivery in that same area. So you would think that if Nepal is going to be able to score off of him, they're going to have to do something differently. Maybe use your feet and get to the pitch and try to hit over the top. But 4 deliveries and 4 dot balls. Great bowling here by Harmeet Singh. And he continues applying the pressure and squeezing the situation for all that it's worth. And this one is pushed through a little bit more quickly. 5 straight dot balls here for his second over rather. And only 1 more to close out what would be a rarity, a maiden by a spinner inside the power play. And that's exactly what happens. 6 up, 6 down. What a great over by Harmeet Singh. And he continues his good form for the last several weeks. At the end of 10, the end of the first power play, the score is 31 for 2. So a quick look here at the scorecard. Kushal Patel caught by Andres Gauss. Bowled by Ilyas. First ball. Asaf Sheikh retired hurt for 1. Dev Kanal not out 10 from 31. And Rohit Paudel caught also by Gauss, bowled by Adil Bhatti. 16 from 23. So the batters are now Dev Kanal and Sunil Damal. Adil Bhatti to continue his fifth over, bowling again from the highway end. Adil Bhatti, I mentioned earlier, probably known more as a batter than as a bowler, but just based on the evidence that we've seen so far in this game, Adil Bhatti cannot be underestimated as a bowler. Really good hard length, generally bowling a good line, and as I say that, he bowls a low full toss that is hit through the offside that will run away for four. It's conceded from looking on that occasion, I believe, for the Yorker, but just over pitching just a little bit. The field is still very aggressive. I'll describe that in just a minute. A good delivery this time. I think that sort of delivery is what he was looking for the first time, or the previous delivery. Overpitched on the previous occasion, but on this occasion gets it just right. Defended into the covers for no run. So again, we're through the power play. So the first 10 overs, after the first 10 overs, you're allowed up to 4 fielders outside the circle. But I think you're doing, if you're the Nepali All-Stars, exactly what you went through in his mind, did the instant replay in his mind as most umpires like to do, and then eventually deciding that that ball was crashing into the stumps. So Adil Bhatti again getting success. Here's a replay slanting inward, and I'll tell you what, we're not directly behind. We don't exactly have the same view as the umpire. We're maybe a little bit off center, more towards mid-on. But when that ball struck the batter, you could easily see middle and leg stump behind him. So that's generally a good indication. Here we go on the replay again. Look where his front foot is. He's falling over playing that shot, and you could see both middle and leg stump behind him. So just based on that alone, I would think that umpire Brian Kane gets it exactly right on this occasion. Definitely thinking about it and then raising the dreaded finger. So another wicket goes down, and after Adil Bhatti comes back in bowling into his fifth over, he has now taken 2 wickets, 4.4 overs, 2 for 14 are his figures so far, and the new batter is going to be Ali Arif Sheikh. 35 for 3 the score. Boy, things are not necessarily going the way that you'd want them. That one into the covers for no. No run. That is the end of the 11th over. A successful one for the Nepali All-Stars and Adil Bhatti. After 11, the score is 35 for 3. So 35 for 3 is the score. We are 11 overs in the second power play. And as I mentioned in the last over, we have as a fielding side up to 4 fielders outside of the circle at this stage. But when you have Nepal well and truly on the back foot, as is the case right here with the Nepali All-Stars, there is no reason to have to set a defensive field. You can maintain that aggressive field As of right now, it appears that there are 3 fielders outside the ropes. There's a fielder deep backward square leg. There's a sweeper on the cover boundary, and then the third fielder outside is where that ball just went down to the canal. Make that now 11 from 33, and Arif Sheikh 0 from 3, from 2 rather. Harmeet Singh continuing, and this is helped behind square. Just a tickle down to short fine leg. The fielder comes off of the boundary at fine leg to field, so just one more run to the total. Driven into the ground. The spectator's catch, in fact, goes right back to the bowler on the bounce. A little bit of a change in the field as mid-on drops back to long on. And then, again, that just a perfect length being bowled here by Harmeet Singh. Just perfect length, just drawing the batter forward. Any amount of bite or turn off the wicket is going to have that first slip fielder interested. This one is pushed through a little bit flatter, and again helped behind square. One more run, and I believe that that is the end of the over. Yep, the end of the over, 37 for 3. Another good over by Harmeet Singh. He's bowled 3. One of the openers is also retired hurt. And so effectively, Nepal is 4 down. So a lot of work to do here if you're Nepal. 38 for 3 is the score after 12. And it will be Adil Bhatti continuing from the highway end. Well, I am extremely impressed with the line and the length that Adil Bhatti is bowling. Just not a lot over pitch. He did have that one full toss that went away for 4, which again is exactly where you want to be as a fast bowler. Flash outside off stump. Maybe this one is not maybe. This is a little too wide for the liking of umpire Brian Kane. Brian's in the leg before, in addition to a number of wides. So umpires Brian Kane and Roshane Samuels. Brian Kane certainly being the more busy of the two. Another good delivery. These are really to sort of keep things going. You want to make sure that you're able to pick up a single here or there. Not able to do that so far. 12.3 overs. 12.2 rather. There was just a wide. Oh, another good delivery. There's that line again, that 4th stump line from that angle, maybe slightly wide of the crease, angled into the batter, and then that delivery straightening and whizzing past the outside edge. Andreas Haus leaning forward and taking that 1.5 volley. So it may not have carried had that been an opportunity for a catch, but again, really bowling a good line and a good length here is Adil Bhatti. Defended right in front of the crease, no runs. So runs are starting to dry up a little bit for Nepal. Adil Bhatti into his 6th over. 2 balls remaining in his 6th, 2 for 15. So great start again by him. Off stump, or looking to break in his canal, not able to get that one away. And one ball remaining here in the 13th over. The score is still only 39 for 3, and I'll tell you, it's incumbent upon these two batters to get things going, but as of right now, they're not able to manufacture anything either off of the pace of Adil Bati. Another drive and a miss outside off stump. That ends the over. So as I was saying, not able to generate anything off of the pace of Adil Bati or the spin of Harmeet Singh. 13 overs down, and the score is 39 for 3. Back here in Prairie View, and I am absolutely delighted to announce that I have a partner sitting next to me, Mr. Josh Dascom. Josh, good morning.
Morning, Brian. Great to be here. Great to have you here. What a day we've got here at Prairie View Cricket Complex.
I'll tell you, Josh, looking around, kind of aggressively, flashing outside off stump. That's how they lost their first wicket. And
The Nepali All-Stars. Stars on display. Easy to get confused, but the Nepali All-Stars have certainly started well with the ball. Mohammad Ilyas up the top from the 290 end, and Adil Bati, and then Harmeet Singh also been very miserly so far. So Nepali All-Stars have bowled well. They'll be looking, Nepalese national team will be looking for a partnership here to consolidate the innings and set a total.
my initial opinion upon having seen the pitch is that it was one that offered a fairly decent contest between bat and ball, and I'm wondering if you have the same opinion.
Drying out the wicket, I think you would see it get a little bit easier to bat as the day went on. So we'll see if that holds true. But yeah, I didn't think it was probably a wicket where you would see the team batting first slump to 3 for 40.
I would agree with you as Adil Bati continues bowling from the highway end. He's into his 7th over, 2 for 15 from 6 so far. And I think for the most part, he's played a part in keeping things quiet. Nepal having a hard time getting the scoreboard clicking in the way that you'd expect for an international side to.
That's a beautiful shot there through the leg side. He's just whipped that one off his tyres. Looks like it'll get pulled in by Singh, but no, gets away for him. Runs for 4. He's
Wow.
pulled up a little bit gingerly there as well, by the looks of it. Hopefully nothing too serious there. He's in the middle of a beautiful spell.
He did appear to be a little bit tentative. You would think that he'd have enough time to be able to get to that ball. Having gotten there, I think he did the hard part, but that dive that you'd expect at the very end did not come. As you said, hopefully he's not hurt.
You actually want to know why that is, Brian? I'll give you the lowdown. Harmeet has scraped his leg yesterday during our fielding training session out on the backfield here at Prairie View. So I reckon he's got himself in a position to slide there. Realised that there's no skin left on his leg there, sporting a heavy bandage in the warm-up this morning.
Sure.
And they're on top, so I think he's gone, not this time around.
So if that were the same position and it was a dive to save the match in the last over, maybe he would have done it.
Maybe.
Maybe.
He's played that one nicely, but unfortunately straight to the fielder. Yeah, Adil Bhatti into his 7th over of the Nepali All-Stars. A little bit light on seam options today. Adil, Mohammad Ilyas, who we saw up the top, of course. Played a lot. He bowls in that one, inside edge. And that one's going to run away to the boundary. A little bit straight, but they'll add 4 to the score.
Certainly add 4 to the score. Maybe a moral victory by Bhatti. And you mentioned that that they're probably a little bit light on seam options. I've known Adil Bhatti for, I'm sure, 10 years. This may
Him for a long time. Played for the US, Brian?
Yep.
Yeah. Good to see him get an opportunity here today against the Welcome back here to the Prairie View Cricket Complex. My name's Josh Dascombe. I'm joined alongside me by Brian Walters. And it's great to have you with us here as we see the Nepali All-Stars take on. So we see Heath Richards introduced to the attack for the first time today.
Heath Richards, if you were no ball. No ball and free hit. Okay, so Heath Richards with less than an auspicious start, he'll want to fix that. But I was about to say, Josh, if you're looking to construct a fast bowler in a lab, he'd probably look something similar to Richards. My estimate from here is he's about 6'4", somewhere around there.
Yeah, not wrong about that. Maybe we'll get. Oh, no, that's free hit. So
Sure.
as we see Harmeet Singh on the third man boundary celebrate that wicket. Couldn't complete complete the catch anyway, so it was a premature celebration from Harmeet Singh there.
Oh, goodness. So generally, if it's a free hit, if you catch it, the batter is not out. That's what you're saying.
So that one's chopped down to third man there. A little bit less action. That ball is collected by the man we were just talking about, Harmeet Singh, for a single. But yes, back to the point that you were talking about there, Brian. If I was to jump in my lab back at home, Liam Plunkett and Bert Cockley, and get him in the gym, and I'm sure for a young 21-year-old, he'll continue to get better and better.
Just to the naked eye, and this is somebody this is coming from an old fast bowler who was decently fast somewhere in the 20th century.
That's not what I heard.
But it appears that much of the energy in the delivery comes from his shoulders.
That's correct.
It would be interesting to see what would happen if he generated more momentum from the run-up, but just at the very last second right there, just explodes through the crease with his shoulders. If we were able to generate more run-up, or more momentum rather, from the run-up, it'll be interesting to see if those are the things that he can be assisted with, because the tools are there. You can tell the tools are there.
Absolutely.
I really want to see.
Yeah, no, for sure. Definitely with a few little technical adjustments there, I think you're spot on. You could definitely see a little bit more pace and a little bit more zip through there. But he started nicely so far. Just gone for that one, driven out.
Oh, love the shots.
That one was beaten Marty Kane at deep point to his left. Rolls away for a boundary. Nice shot there. Moves along to 9. The Nepal national team, 54 for 3. Let's have another look.
Put away for 4. But I like the line, that fourth stump line that has been the outside edge and go through. So you said Heath Richards is 21 years old. Tell us a little bit more about him.
Yeah, absolutely. More of a batting all-rounder, Brian. So bats in the middle order, hits the ball very hard. We've had the pleasure of having him down here for a couple of days now, preparing for these matches, and had a look at him in the nets over the past 2 days, and he's, very clean ball striker. More of a batting all-rounder that can chip in with a few overs based on what we've seen so far. Yeah, hoping to see him in action this afternoon. Recently relocated to Atlanta.
Speaking of minor leagues, how do you feature in this upcoming season? And I guess more to the point, is the number of centuries that you're going to score this year greater or less than 5?
Who's put you up to that question, Brian?
Literally nobody.
Who's been in your ear? It could have been one of many people. Could have been one of many. But no, I'm not sure if you'll be seeing me on field this season, Brian.
That's disappointing.
We see some good running there. Scamper through for the single. Yeah, I think the only people that are disappointed about that one are the bowlers that are going to be bowling to me and the batters that might have been facing me. Right, but no, very excited about this upcoming season. Hoping to build on the momentum that we had with the minor league last year. A few new teams, a few new initiatives, so should be a really good season. Looking forward to it.
Just from somebody who, has observed and been involved in various roles around for the last several years, there is an electricity about minor league cricket, and then of course coming down the line Major League Cricket, that I think has far exceeded anything that we've ever had in this country. And you can feel that electricity. Of course, we were both at the finals in North Carolina last October, and just seeing, my estimate conservatively is probably 2,000 or 3,000 people Just seeing that number of people all focused on a cricket match in the US that did not involve the national team of India or the national team of the West Indies. That's being generated by this initiative, and I'm absolutely elated to see it.
Look, it's an exciting time to be involved with cricket in America generally. The past couple of days we've seen the national team put up some good results. Really big domestic season coming up. We've obviously had the, is that one? Skids on past the edge. Well collected there by the wicketkeeper, Andres House.
Wow.
But yeah, no, a very exciting time to be involved in US cricket, Brian, and you know, a very big domestic season coming up. We've obviously had a couple of tournaments and a few of these type of matches and series happen so far, but the main event domestically, at least, with the minor league not too far away now.
Fantastic. So at the end of 17, 57 for 3 is the score.
Yeah, that's spot on, Brian, and it's coming back to today's game. It's great to have a fixture like this one here. Great for all parties involved. It's great for the Nepali All-Stars to have the great involved to be able to play against a quality international side like Nepal. Personally, I can't wait to see Sandeep Lamachane this afternoon and see how our batters go against playing some world-class spin bowling. And it's also great for the Nepalese national team. They're obviously here preparing for the upcoming international fixtures as part of the Cricket World Cup League 2. But it's a great opportunity for them to get out and play some competitive matches in the lead up to that and really prepare them for what I'm sure they're hoping is a successful series.
Richards continuing a great delivery. Appeal for catch. He had his occasion, but
look to nip back off the seam a bit here. Oh, and that one has clipped. Yeah, you see the batter there indicate that it's clipped his back thigh, which might have been the reason Richards was so excited. A little bit of a noise there, but beautifully bowled. That's that link that we were talking about last over, Brian.
Yep. Wow, amazing delivery. You're absolutely right. Danced in off the seam. Those are really difficult to bowl. This delivery not quite as good. Another full and wide delivery, but this time struck straight to that sweeper out there on the offside. So only a single conceded. So what I'd like to see with Richards is just, and you mentioned that he's a batting all-rounder, so we'll take a few loose balls here and there if you have a batting all-rounder in your side. But what I'd like to see from him is to be able to sort of develop that stock ball, that ball that is right on off stump or just outside off stump. Oh, that's a very sharp delivery.
That one looked like a bit of an effort ball there,
yes,
didn't it?
Did. So if you can deliver a stock ball that is on off stump or maybe fourth stump, just short of a length, and then mix in a few of those quick, sharp ones, jagging into the body of the batter.
Absolutely.
That's when you'll be truly, you can make your side alone just as a bowler if you're able to deliver those types of balls. And then certainly if you have abilities with the bat, then you become a key member of your side.
Absolutely. That's one, Brian, as he lets that one go outside the off stump. That's one, Brian, I've actually haven't told my boss this yet, so hopefully he's listening and he'll hear it first from here. But I've got a speed gun getting delivered today.
There's a number.
Not so much looking at immediate feedback as much as just gathering some data on the speeds that they're bowling and being able to chart that over the course of a spell, over the course of a series, looking at conditions and how that impacts it. So yeah, really about a data gathering exercise and being able to track our bowlers and yeah, see where they're at in terms of the speeds relative to both their own, I guess, competition within the US. certainly be something to see.
Sure.
Harmeet in and bowls. He's some athletic fielding there from the captain, Prithu Baskoda at cover there. Can't cut off the single. Operating beautifully here, Harmeet. I had the pleasure of catching a few balls off him in the warm-up today, and beautiful shapes on the ball. Makes me envious as a former left-arm spinner myself, because I can't.
Drifted, and I'm not sure if Roddy can get that back up, but here we go, the replay. From around the wicket, slanting in, tremendous drift, and then grips and turns. The most miserly spell of all the bowlers on offer today.
It's spot on. Very, very well delivered there, and well deserved, as you point out. As we see new batsman to the crease, and the Nepalese national team in a little bit of trouble here at 62 for 4.
So not only are they 62 for 4, but if you recall, one of their opening batters has retired, and I would suspect he's not going to take any further part in the innings. So effectively, they're 62 for 5, I would think.
Yeah, that's spot on there. Unfortunately, seemed to injure himself running between the wickets earlier in the day, and I like this move from the captain and the bowler, bringing up a couple of the boundary riders and putting the pressure on the new batsman here. Seeing in and delivers. Nice start there from the batsman. Strikes that one away to cover nicely.
No question. And I mentioned earlier, we're in the second power play, so you have the option of keeping up to 4 people outside the line, outside of the circle rather. But you're spot on, because if you want to keep turning the screws, you keep that aggressive field. As many fielders inside the circle as possible are a new batter. Make him have to hit over the top if he needs to score.
That'll be the end of the 19th. Nepal 62 for 4 here.
Boy.
Welcome back here to Prairie View. We were just debating here the correct way of describing the score. Personally, that single there sees the Nepalese national team go to 4 for 63.
Maybe
I think we need to set up a poll on Twitter. I think that's the only way.
I would love to set up a poll on Twitter.
See if I can do this while I'm coming.
And have what is the proper way of announcing the score? Is the score right now 63 for 4, or is it 4 for 63? My suspicion, as this finds the outside edge and goes down to third man, my suspicion is that there will be an overwhelming response in the direction of now 64 for 4. Unless you have all your friends from back home coming, responding on that poll to support you. That would be as Richard is what the score. Wait, is the person who responds?
See that he's not sitting to my left here. In the box.
I rest my case. Oh goodness. 66 for.
Scoreboard ticking along a little bit here for the Nepalese, as we'll have a look at the replay. And that one, slower ball there from Richards, just catches the pad, evades the outstretched left glove. Bondry's scars, runs away for 4.
Well, Nepal will take the runs any way they can get them. But definitely slanting a little bit too much down the leg side on that occasion for Richards. Not able to keep his opposition from getting runs. Oh, maybe he did something slightly. Maybe
As we're through 20 now.
20.
20 overs done. It'll be the end of the innings. No. Just kidding. Of course, we're here all day. Thanks for joining us here on MLC Network.
So in looking at the number of people who are now watching, it appears that that number is now 5.4 thousand.
It's a little bit less than it was earlier today, which makes me think that you might have been better off alone, Ryan.
Oh, not in a million years. You stay. I'm going to keep you here as long as you can stay here, Josh. Harmeet Singh continuing. He's into his 7th over, 1 for 9.
He'll beat Marty Kane in front of square. Runs away for 4. Beautiful shot there from Bandari.
So that is the second occasion where I've broken out the commentator's curse. And
We'll have another look at this one. The sweeper quite set behind square there, and beautiful shot there. Gets that one into the gap and runs away for 4. That's the kind of positive intent that we like to see from a batting side, particularly this stage of the innings. Well anticipated there by Richards. Fires that one back into the keeper for no run. That's a kind of positive intent that would be great to see through the middle part of this innings here from Nepal as well. Really keep the scoreboard ticking along and get themselves to a total that they'll be comfortable defending later this afternoon. It's that one. Drags that one down, and unfortunately the batter can't make the most of that one. Out to the sweeper for a single.
So positive intent is good. Positive intent, Josh, doesn't always mean hitting 4s and 6s. It sometimes can just mean look to pick up those quick singles.
Absolutely. Positive intent is not only the shot that they're playing, but also the intent between the wickets. And it can really just side. As you said, positive intent in the running between the wickets, positive intent in the strokes that they're playing, and all of a sudden you've seen a couple of balls from Harmeet Singh this over that just haven't been quite where he would have wanted them. So they'll pick up 7 off that over. Great over for the Nepalese national side here as they move along to 77 for 4. That felt wrong. So that's what confuses me, Brian. So if we're talking about the bowling figures for Harmeet Singh, I'm looking at this and I'm saying that he's got 1 for 16 off 7 overs. But how can he have taken 16 wickets in your... How does that work? He can't. It's impossible.
You're describing the bowler.
Yeah.
Then the wickets come first, then the runs. We're talking about the team score. It's the runs first, then the wickets.
Yeah, I'm not following. To politely disagree there. As we see the introduction of a new bowler from the Forest End here at Prairie View Cricket Complex. First time today, but more left arm spin. This time Basant Rejmi, formerly, of course, former Nepalese international player. One of the leading wicket takers for Nepal, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sure if I am mistaken, someone will kindly correct me on the internet. It's great to see them involved in the game today as well.
On the do as an accomplished left arm spinner yourself.
Brian, I think one of the keys to bowling left arm spin, particularly in short form limited overs cricket, is the left arm spinners that have had a lot of success over the years. Ravindra Jadeja, Daniel Vittori, that one up. A little bit slower, strokes down.
I need to see the results of this poll because I'm going straight there now. 7 votes. Let's see what these 7 votes are. Huh. Oh,
You're wondering why
I
Brian's laughing.
rest my case.
You're wondering why Brian's laughing for the viewers playing along at home. 7 votes in so far, and unfortunately, the only one in my favour was the first one to come in. 86% of you watching along think that the score is read as 64, 79 for 4 in this case. As we see Heath Richards swing back around, this time coming from the Highway 290 end. You're on that highway this morning, Brian?
I was, except I was coming from the other direction.
Of course.
120 miles that way from Austin.
Beautiful part of the world, if I might say so.
A good place to have a non-alcoholic drink or two also.
Of course, of course. I found myself there on the weekend. It was, wonderful, wonderful part of the world. Broke out my cowboy hat on Sunday, Brian, just to really confuse a few locals. Nothing quite like an Australian accent and a cowboy hat to really throw them off the scent. That one whipped out to deep square for a single.
When we first moved to the United States of America, exactly 40 years ago this year, we were gifted, we meaning my 2 brothers and me, were gifted with a cowboy hat each. And it took a week of wearing these cowboy hats to realize that there was absolutely no one else who was wearing cowboy hats.
Do you still have it?
Absolutely not. Those are good memories.
Of course, Peter in town for the international series happening just across town at Moosa Stadium at the moment.
Of course, Peter also doing double duty. Oh, really triple duty.
I was about to say triple. Jack of all trades, master of all trades
He's
as well.
the utility fielder of USA Cricket.
Absolutely, and great to see some of the fans of the USA national team out there over the past couple of weeks as well. Of course, Phil Milky,
yes.
travelling down from Ohio yesterday to catch a game in person.
Well, I tell you, Josh, I was in attendance, and I was happy to walk around and just strike up conversations with people. The number of people who came from near and far to attend those games in Moosa is something to behold.
Absolutely. As that one struck beautifully there from Richard, off the bowling of Richards rather. To Mohamed Ilyas, who tidies up there on the deep cover fence. They can only manage a single.
I met people who came from Washington, D.C., from San Antonio, about...
What kind of support